What a year for Maggie Connors. Newfoundland Labrador's first female professional hockey player was drafted in the first season to PWHL Toronto. And I'm not going to lie, I'm a huge fan. I haven't missed a game all season, and Maggie is joining me now home for the off season. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, it's awesome to be home. I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
So to be completely honest, I never really watched hockey before, and the PWHL seems to have a whole new audience. Why do you think there's such a draw to this league?
I think first of all, what the league has done in terms of, you look at the different rules, whether it's the draft rule, if you finish last in the league, you get the first overall pick. Toronto, we ended up picking who we played in the playoffs, or you look at the jailbreak rule in terms of if you score when you're on the penalty kill, the player comes out. So I think, first of all, it's little rules like that obviously draw people in and draw curiosity and see how that's going to play out. But I think overall, it's the product that, we're putting on the ice. It's definitely a high-pace, very physical game. And so I think people are kind of, first of all, curious and see what the women's game is all going to be about. And they watch it and they realize, how good, obviously, the game is. And so they stick around. But, yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, and the draw, the fan following has been something else. I even saw your face on a kid's birthday cake in the past. So do you ever get used to the fact that you're a professional hockey player now?
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily fully set in. It's obviously a dream as of recent. When I was young, I dreamed a little bit of playing in the NHL, but then you quickly grow up and realize that's not the case. And so you dream, obviously, to play at the highest level in high school and then to play in college, and then obviously at the Olympics one day is always a little kid's dream. But now when I heard of this the past kind of few years, you hear the league in the making and things, and for it to come to fruition, and obviously then it becomes a dream. And so I don't think it's ever going to fully set in, and maybe when I'm retired and look back at the incredible experience. But yeah, so far I'm just enjoying every day.
So you're a pro hockey player now. What does a day in the life of Maggie Connors look like when you're playing?
Yeah, I mean, in season, it's obviously, it's a grind for sure. It's, you get up, you go to the rink, you have, whether that's treatment or whether that's video, and then you warm up, you go on the ice, usually a workout as well, whether it's kind of a speed session or a strength session or whatever it might be. Sometimes there is no workout, it's cool down depending on what the staff puts in place for us. And then, you have lunch with the girls, have breakfast with the girls, and then you head home, and lots of treatment and recovery time in there. But it's definitely, every day. Definitely at the rink, lots of time, but it's obviously a dream, and very grateful to be able to doing this as my job.
After a slow start, PWHL Toronto dominated the year, coming in first in the regular season, a favorite to win. Can you tell us about the progression of the season and then what it was like to get booted out?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. The first season especially, you're learning to play professional hockey, you're learning to play this type of season, and so you expect lots of ups and downs, and we definitely went through ours. We started a bit slow, but, in terms of the league and how it obviously came about, you're playing with a brand new team. You're playing with players that are older than you, come from all different corners of, at least our team ended up being kind of North America mainly, but, players from all over the world are coming to play in this league, and so everyone's learning to play with each other for the first time. You're learning, I'm moving to a new city, so there's lots to adjust to, and I think maybe, looking back on our first few games, it was definitely a learning curve. Learning the style of play was definitely a learning curve as well, and the physicality, but once we got that under our belt, we ended up going on an 11-game winning streak. And so it was from a pretty low to obviously an incredible high, and that was unbelievable. And then going into playoffs, we won the regular season, and then heading into playoffs, we played Minnesota, and I think another amazing thing is that every team is just so incredibly stacked and have honestly a lot of depth. And so, we didn't think that there would be an easy opponent in any way. And so Minnesota gave us their best game, and credit to them, obviously they beat us, and they ended up going on and winning the whole thing. And so they were an incredible team to play against, and definitely pretty disappointing for us to get out. But I mean, definitely very proud of the whole season our team had.
And Natalie Spooner, top scorer, gets injured late in the season. What was it like in the locker room after that happened?
Yeah, I mean, she's such an instrumental part to our team. She's obviously just the experience that she brings in general, regardless of the fact of what she does on the ice, the leadership she brings, the positivity she brings. And then, you know, she ended up being MVP to no one's surprise and top scorer. And so she was a huge part to our team. And then to see her go down like that, it was tough. It was definitely to see her in pain, to see her go through that. But I think we really rallied around each other during that and, you know, tried to support her the best we could. And it's tough because she's such an inspiration. But I think just this recovery is also going to be really inspirational. She is experience that she's already had and the Olympics that she's won is, you know, unbelievable. And then she's a mother as well. So you look at that and you look at her coming to the rink every day and doing what she does and having her family at home and then obviously going to go through this. It's definitely going to be tough for her, but, you know, chatting with her, it's nothing but the utmost positivity. So again, she's just such an inspiration to us and I know she's going to get through this and be great next season.
So what was your favorite thing about this year?
You know, I think first of all, it was definitely playing in Toronto and in front of the fans. I think everyone, you know, projected that this would do well, especially, you know, being in Toronto, being in a sports city, was so excited to be drafted there. But, you know, to see the support and to see the passion from the fans, it was, you know, it definitely left me, like when I was standing on that blue line sometimes, like shocked and just completely almost looking at them and kind of them taking my breath away. You know, when all the jerseys on, you know, all their chants to her supporting our goalie, Soupy, anytime she made a save, little things like that. And so the way they rallied around us, it definitely bonded us together and made me so excited to play at home. I mean, every market was amazing, but I think definitely my favorite part about the whole year was the fans and the attention that they brought to our team was unbelievable. So definitely a huge thank you to them.
So you're home now.
Mm-hmm.
What does your off season look like?
Yeah, I mean, I think our season ended now a little bit just over a month ago, and so time to step away, you know, kind of get off the ice for a little bit, get out of the gym for a little bit, recover. Definitely needed in such a long season the past few months, but it's tough because obviously I love being on the ice and I love playing, so it's definitely tough to be away, but it's definitely important and something that, you know, you need. But for me, I'm home, which I love being home. I love being in Newfoundland, kind of training a little bit, seeing lots of friends and family. But I'm going to be heading back up to Toronto in the coming weeks or this coming week, you know, to settle back into Toronto and have a great training group there and experience what that's like with a bunch of the girls from my team. So excited for that, but it's definitely a little bit of a longer off season. I believe the season starts in November, training camps in November, so a little bit longer, and so it's different than last year for college for me, but, you know, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I think the off season is going to be awesome.
So what can fans expect to see from next year from the PWHL?
Yeah, I mean, it seems as though, you know, we're probably going to be getting names and logos. That's what, you know, I think they've said in a few of the final games of the season. They mentioned that in the intermission. So obviously that's one fun thing that they'll get next year, and I think we're just as excited. It's awesome. I actually loved playing with Toronto across my chest. I think it's one thing to play for Toronto, but to obviously just, it simply says the city. That's who you're playing for, and it's very clear. And I mean, I loved that jersey, but it's gonna be fun to have a logo and more of something to cheer behind, and in terms of like whether it's a mascot or whatever. But I think as the season in general, you know, I think the level of play is already so high, but I think the ceiling's higher. I mean, you look at the people that are coming in. This draft class was unbelievable. So I think the level of play is only going to get better. I think the skill's only going to get better. And I think, you know, when we're playing against each other, it's made everyone in the league even that much better. So I think the little thing about logos is going to be fun, but more importantly, I think the fans can expect even better hockey again, and I think there's a few more games this year, so that will be good.
That's very exciting. Well, Maggie, thank you so much for coming in. I'm really looking forward to next season.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.